Welcome back to Faith and Work. I am so excited to have our guest today, Matthew Porterfield. Matthew, if people are meeting you for the first time, what would you like for everyone to know about you?
Well, I am 45 years old. I have been married for 22 years. So I got 2 kids, getting ready to turn 16.
Oh my goodness.
And, I've been saved for about going on 28 years also. And then, I love people, love talking to people. I love telling my story. I love church, friends, family. I'm a do-it-all type of person. So I love doing a lot of stuff. So
yeah, for sure. You do a lot. I've heard parts of your story before that you told at church, and I was shocked at all the different sporting events that you do and the job that you do, and you are involved in a lot. And so I want to get to all that you do. But first, this part of the series that we are working on with Faith and Work is faith in our community. And I really wanted to bring different people onto the podcast who have stories that they've lived and walked through chapters that kind of put them in a different demographic. And sometimes we don't know how to talk to people. And it's a hard, awkward middle ground, but I want to bring some awareness to it. And so I would love for you to kind of tell your story, the story that you've probably told 100 times or more, but kind of take us back to the beginning.
So, those that don't know me, I am a paraplegic, from my chest down. Everybody thinks my waist is from my chest down. Takes you the story of my life, I guess, background story about me and how I got this far. So grew up in a Christian home, going to a Christian school, in church all my life, my young life, from the time I was born on. Graduated from a Christian school, went to church all the time. The doors are open, everything like that. So I did a lot with church. Grew up in a small little country church in South Knoxville, and I knew my rights and wrongs, type thing. My parents were godly parents. They took care of me and guided me in the right steps that I should take. And I couldn't be more proud of my parents and what they've done for me. Me and my sister. I have a sibling. She's older than me. But growing up like that, you kind of hear the gospel time in, time out, all the time. And I'll give my testimony of how I got saved. So growing up like that, you hear a lot of this and that, and when you're young in school, and in our Christian school, we had chapel just about every day. And it's like a 9 or 10 o'clock era. And we would go and we listen to the preachers and stuff like that. And I'm like 7 years old in first grade. And I'm sitting in my pew, big long pew with my classmates. And I remember the preacher, asking if anybody had been saved, anybody wanted to be saved. And of course, we're supposed to bow our heads and close our eyes, but as we're young, we do not. So,
That's so true.
You're looking around, you say, who's going to raise their hands?
Yeah.
And you look around, and one of my good friends, he raised his hands that he wanted to be saved. So, here goes my hand. I'm up, I want to be saved. And so they, talk to us after, the chapel service is over, and we go into the room, and he talks to us and tell us about what it means to be saved, and said, and I believe at that time it was like repeat a prayer after me type thing. And so I repeated that prayer, and I was saved. As I thought. And so I went through my whole life thinking, I'm saved. Then I get into my teen years, and the teen years, you're not as disciplined as you should be, as you want to be. And so I went through that stage, although I went to a Christian school, Christian home type thing, and I wasn't bad. I wasn't that type of person, but I wasn't living my life like I should be, like a Christian should. So I went through my teenage years like that, going through high school and getting ready to graduate. And so I remember me and some friends used to always go around. We used to go cruising up in Gatlinburg. Yeah, that was a thing back then. We used to go on the weekends. We'd go up there cruising until like midnight or one
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning, and just ride up and down the road. And the point was to try to find a girl and just to
Oh yeah, of course.
talk
Yeah.
to. Yeah. So that was our thing we used to do. So I did
Mhm.
that, and going through my high school senior year and stuff, and driving, and we always drove, and most everybody drove with me when we
Mhm.
did this. And so I remember that part of my senior year, and I graduated. As I graduated, still going through that stage of kind of rebellion type thing, and I remember um, going through church and getting this feeling that maybe I'm not saved. And I'd always go
Mm.
back.
Yeah.
Hey, 7 years old, I'm raising my hand, and
Yeah.
I got saved, and I'll always go back to that. And what it was is that I had the devil really try to say, it's you're fine,
Mhm.
and
Mm.
realistically, I wasn't. So for about 2 weeks goes by, and I remember just being back in the back pew, like all the teenagers used to be back
Yeah.
in the very back and trying to hide from everything.
Mhm.
Being back there, and for 2 weeks will go by, and I was standing next to my friend, my good friend that we always go cruising with. He was standing beside me. We're sitting beside each other in church,
Mhm.
and I was always had that feeling of what would they think about me if I was to, step out of the pew and go
Yeah.
down and get to the altar. And for weeks go by, I always thought about that. I was like, what would they think about me? What would they think about me?
Mm.
So finally, one time, it was on June 20th, actually, June 20th of 1998. It was right after I graduated high school, graduated in May, and I'm back there in the pew and the morning service, and finally it hit me. And God said, "It doesn't matter what they think.
Mhm.
What does it matter to them? It's
Yeah.
about your life and
Yeah.
what's going to happen to you."
Mhm.
So I excused myself out of the pew and walked
Mhm.
down to the altar. And the altar, when it's a small country church, it's going to be no more than 20 foot.
Yeah.
But it was a long 20 feet that I had to
Yeah.
go. But as soon as you step out, it's like you're committed.
Yeah.
And I go down and I pray. Nobody prayed around me,
Mm.
really. And I just sat there and I asked God to save me.
Mm.
And I was like, God, I know I'm not
Yeah.
what I thought it was. I need you in my life. And I don't remember exactly what I prayed, but that's
Yeah.
the gist of it, really.
Yeah.
I got up from there and went back to my pew, and nobody said anything. Nobody said a word.
Wow.
Nobody, not to my, my
Mhm.
thoughts of what were they going to think about me,
Yeah.
and nobody said anything. And so, service was over, and I went towards my pastor, and I said, I got saved, and
Mm.
everybody was like, "What?
Mm.
You of all people?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." It was a very good, comforting feeling,
Yeah.
and that was June 20th, 1998. So here I am finally getting saved
Yeah.
and ready to live my life and stuff like that. So that was the turning point in my life, I guess you would say,
Yeah.
so to speak. So after that, I was ready to go to college, and that was my goal. Graduate high school and go to college. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to go to UT and do business management,
Mhm.
because my dad owns a business, and I worked there my whole entire life.
Yeah.
Summers were working at there, and
Mhm.
every weekend working there, and that's all I did. And I wanted to to foresee the business along, and so that was my
Yeah.
goal, to go to college. And I remember, because I was still 17 at the time, living at home with my parents, and I remember asking them. I had a car. Well, I had a car, and
Yeah.
I drove it, and I was like, I want to get a motorcycle. And so I told them I was going to get a motorcycle because it would save on gas. And that was not really my intention. My intention was to drive it up to Gatlinburg and go
Of
cruising with
course.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because girls like bikes.
Of
Uh,
course.
yeah. And so, and my friends were the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So, my mom and dad were like, no, no, you don't need a bike.
Yeah.
And I used to have a dirt bike when I lived in Jefferson City for like 16 years. And, then we moved to Knoxville. And so, when I was 16. And so I didn't bring the dirt bike. And where we were at, we had a bunch of acres there, and it was a lot of property where you could drive. And so my motorcycle dreams went to this side. I was going to wait till I
Mm-hmm.
turned 18 and do my own thing.
Yeah.
So while I was in church, there was a couple of guys that lived up in Maryville, and they had dirt bikes. And they'd always invite us up to their house after church. The time between, as Baptists are, between church periods, you had that
Of course.
window to
Mm-hmm.
do whatever you want to, and then we go back to church. So I go up to their house in Maryville, and we would ride their dirt bikes. And so one time there was this dirt bike inside the garage that was for sale, and I asked them about it, and they said, "Yes, for sale," and they told me how much it was. I was like, well, I can't have a dirt bike. I can't have a motorcycle, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna get a dirt bike. And I saved money, and that's what my dad instilled with me about saving money, especially when I was young, and it helped me buy my first car and stuff like that. And so I'm saving money. And so I go to my parents, and I'm like, you can't have a motorcycle. We've got all this property. I said, come up by a dirt bike. Well, the first thing was like, no, we don't need to get a dirt bike. And I kept on and on. You try to keep on and on to your parents.
Yeah.
And I was like, what about dirt bike? Or dirt bike. And it's like, all right, you got your money. It's fine. Get a dirt bike. So I got a dirt bike. So it was exciting. I paid for it. And my friends were like, oh, yeah, come on, let's go over to your house or ride around. And so that's what we did. We rode around all the time after work. We work out. Then we go to my
Yeah.
house and we'd ride the dirt bikes. We'd find all the trails and stuff and people's yards and stuff. And they got mad at us and stuff. But
Of course.
yeah, no, yeah, they would. But so we rode around for a long time. And I have the friends, just like everybody else has the friends that want you to do the stupid stuff first before they do
Of
it,
course.
so
Yeah.
they look better than you. And so that was my friends too. I mean, we're teenagers,
Yeah.
and so we used to find these jumps and trails, and we'd see who'd do the best jumps and trails. And so we did that for the longest time. And so I remember this one area that we didn't really plan out to jump. There was a pond right below my parents' property. This is my parents' property. Below it was a pond, and there was this stuff around it, trees and stuff like that, that really wasn't good area to jump. We
Yeah.
hadn't done anything to it. And every time we go around there, my friends are like, come on, let's jump this, let's jump that. And I'm like, all right, go ahead. And they're like, no, you go ahead and do it first. Of course, I had to do it first. So weeks went by, and I looked at it, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. It's not really worth
Yeah.
doing it. Every time we go down there, they're like, oh, let's jump the pond. I'm like, no. And I'd done some stupid jumps. I mean, we get up in the air and try to turn the bike and stuff like that. It was just a common feat that we did. It was just challenge each other who could do this. So one day was after church, actually, one day, October 18th, to be exact. My friends dared me again, and I said no. My rule was to, if you was to ride the bike, you had to wear your helmet. And I had a helmet that day. And I remember going through there, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to jump the pond this time while they're standing around and surprise them when they see me do it. So I went through the woods, and I was like, you know, what if I fall into the water and mess up my helmet? We wouldn't be able to ride the rest of the day. I've done stupid stuff before. I'm good. So what I do is I go through the woods, and I lay my helmet down. And go through, and I do this run and jump, and my friends are standing around me, or standing around and don't know what I'm getting ready to do, and I'm getting up about 45 miles an hour for what I expect. And I come up to the pond, and I jump the pond. As I jump the pond, I make it on the other side, and the bike stops. As the bike stops, about doing 45 miles an hour, I keep going. As I keep going, I land head first into the mud and stuff and the rocks in front of me. As I land to the rocks and mud, and just bam. Land head first, and then I'm knocked unconscious. As I'm knocked unconscious, what happened there is my T5 vertebra shattered. My T5 vertebra shattered as an impact hit, and it cut my spinal cord. It cut
Wow.
my spinal cord, and then it paralyzed me from my chest down. I'm unconscious and not breathing, actually. My brother-in-law is there too, and they all come around me and hold my head apparently and turn me over, and they're yelling at me to breathe, yelling at me to
Yeah.
breathe. And finally I breathe. And I have blood in my mouth where I bit my tongue when I
Yeah.
landed and stuff like that. And finally start breathing, apparently, and call the ambulance. My best friend that was there, one of the guys that dares me to jump, my best friend runs up to my mom and dad's house. He's a jokester of all people, and he runs up to my mom and dad's house and is like, Matthew had a wreck, and they didn't believe him at first. I thought he was joking. And he's like, no. He grabs the phone and calls 911. So that happened. And this all happened on October 18th, which is 2 weeks almost to the day from my 18th birthday. I
Wow.
just turned 18. And
So were
so
you a senior in high school at this time?
I just graduated.
You just
I
graduated. So that May
graduated
before I just graduated. Wow.
from
Okay.
May, and then of course June I got saved, and then October 18th.
Wow.
So 4 months in between. I look at it that way. And I like I said, I stopped breathing, and
Yeah.
I start breathing again. Thank God, of course. And I go back and I look at it. I'm like, that 4 month period, if I had not put down my pride
Yeah.
about what's going to happen to me, what do they think
Yeah.
of me, what's going to happen, am I going to get I need to go get saved. What would have happened in those few short months if I hadn't have done that? What if I hadn't accepted Christ as my Savior? I may not have been here,
Yeah.
living in hell right now because of a simple pride act, and that's what teenagers go through.
Yeah.
Pride, don't want to put it down, and that's my testimony. Is short, sweet. I say short. I kind of took a long time telling you that,
No,
but
you're good.
that's my testimony is that thank God that I
Yeah.
listen. You got that. I believe that you can't be saved without conviction, and that's what did. Thank God that he brought me through, those 17 years of
Yeah.
thinking I was, 10 years of thinking I was saved, and then I finally, accepted it. And then my life begins over again
Yeah.
after this accident. So
Yeah. So how that is such a life-changing event. When did you realize that you were paralyzed?
So everything that I just told about the wreck and me jumping the pond, and then about 2 weeks after, I do not remember. I didn't remember jumping the pond. I didn't remember um, ambulance. I don't remember going to the hospital. I went to 2 hospitals. Went to UT first and had a
Wow.
surgery on my back. They took cleaned out the vertebra that shattered, took a bone graft out of my hip and put that bone back in my back, and then I got 2 titanium rods on each side of my back, keeping me stable. From there, I went to Patricia Neal Rehabilitation Center for about 2 months. Like I said, I don't remember 2 weeks. I don't remember UT. I don't remember at least about a week of Patricia Neal.
Wow.
One, because of unconscious, I guess. 2, because of drugs that they
Yeah.
had in my system. So I don't remember that. But I do remember after that, I should say, of going through therapy day in, day out. It's like a job, Monday through Friday, basically getting up 8 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock in the afternoon, short breaks in between. And that's all I had to do was learn how to uh, um, live again in a
Yeah.
different way. I'm 18 years old, ready to live my life, ready to go on and go to college and do this, do that, and have a life. And here I am, not able to do anything to move my arms.
Yeah.
And I thank God about this, and give God glory that I have a attitude of everything's a challenge
Yeah.
to me, and I
Mm-hmm.
accept it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where I have I I really don't know where it comes from. I just
Mm-hmm.
do it. I don't, it's not
Yeah.
something I'm just deep down inside. It's just in me,
Yeah.
that I accept. And so I remember my dad told me, my dad was one of those, he was there all the time. My dad told me that,
Mm-hmm.
while I was still under the medicine and stuff like that, I was, in a state of, I don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
type thing. I didn't want to do the therapy that they wanted me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I would say I can't. I said I can't one time, and my dad said Porterfields don't say can't. And I looked at him and I said, "Well, I just don't want to."
Mm.
But
Yeah.
after that, I did it, and then
Mm-hmm.
I like to prove a lot of stuff wrong,
Mm-hmm.
that I can
Yeah.
do it, although you don't think I can. Can't. So I it's one of those things that I thank God for giving me that strength.
Yeah.
Um, so um, after all that, you can go through a lot of doubting, a lot of
Okay.
transitioning into a different type of life,
Yeah.
being in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, and
Mm-hmm.
there's always these hopes and dreams that somebody's going to have a cure for
Yeah.
paralysis, and that
Yeah.
happened while I was in therapy and stuff like that. Oh, there's going to be a cure. There's going to be a cure. It's been 20 something years
Yeah.
since that, and this has been going on for a long time, almost just like cancer.
Yeah.
You think there's a cure, there's not.
Yeah.
So you accept it,
Mm-hmm.
go on with it, and try to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I have.
Yeah.
Um, and God's blessed me immensely,
Mm.
with just life.
Yeah.
He's given me a family. He's given me a wife. He's given me friends. He's given me, a good church I'm in,
Yeah.
and just stuff that I've done. And you talk about the stuff that I've done over,
Yeah.
it's been 28 years. It's been 28 years since October that I got
Yeah.
hurt. Um, I've done a lot. I'll try to tell you what I've done and try to remember everything I've done a lot. Um, so when I first got hurt, I learned to water ski,
Okay.
wakeboarding basically. And I had never done this before my accident, never done
Wow.
wakeboarding and water skiing for my life. I learned how to do that, and I love doing that now. Wakeboarding more than anything, doing tricks and stuff, and jumping over the wakes and doing 360 stuff like that. I do that.
That's incredible.
And then wheelchair racing. Wheelchair racing is my main sport, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
It's an individual sport. It's not really a team, although I
Mm-hmm.
made a team before. But wheelchair racing was a thing that a guy that was in my um, uh, that I worked out before I had my accident. I worked out at a place on Chapman Highway, and there was this guy, this paralyzed guy there. I didn't really know him, but I knew him,
Mm-hmm.
type thing. And he learned about me getting paralyzed, and he came to my bedside there and talked to me a couple of times. And he said,
Wow.
hey, if you want, I have a racing wheelchair in my garage. I do not use. He works out. He's like a big buff guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't use it if you want to try it. So I tried it, and I got out, and I just took off. And
That's awesome.
yeah, I didn't know anything about it, nothing about it. And I got gloves and wrapped them up with duct tape and pushed. That's not really what you're supposed to do. But that's what I did.
So
So
how soon after your accident did you start like experimenting with like wakeboarding and wheelchair race? Like how soon after did you start doing that?
the summer after, so I got out. I got cut out 2 days before Christmas.
Wow.
So I got out the 2 days before Christmas, and then had to learn stuff all over again.
Yeah.
And I learned how to drive again. I made them do. I was in therapy. I made them jack a bed up as high as my truck was because they wanted me to get a van. I'm 18 years old. I'm not getting a van. I got a truck.
Right.
I've got a truck. I got a Toyota Tacoma. I had modified. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, jack this thing up. I'm going to learn how to get in and get out
Yeah.
myself. And that's something I wanted to do. And
Yeah.
so, I would,
So you did that in the hospital to kind
in
of
the
prepare
hospital.
yourself
And
so you
then,
could drive it
yeah.
after.
So but they
Oh,
bring the
wow.
truck to them. They would bring the truck to the hospital so I could practice there too.
Oh, that's really
Um,
cool.
yeah. So after that, I would go home after I had to go home, and I would try out I would
Mm-hmm.
spend hours out in the driveway getting in and out of my truck, figuring out the best way to get in, get out, get out. Have to
Mm.
break my chair down and get it in, get it out, type thing, until I finally got it. And so
Yeah.
that took weeks to beyond belief, and it's blood, sweat, and tears, and falling out of my truck, several times. And I did that. But as far as
Wow.
getting, and then they would use me they'd call me and say, "Can you come up and show people how to get out of your vehicle?" I was like, "Okay, what's it?"
Wow.
It was good. I was good peer support. Anyway, so,
Mm-hmm.
how, as far as getting in to do all the activities after my accident, it was probably the summer after.
Wow.
And you
It
had to
still
let your
seems
body,
really fast.
yeah, stuff just flew by. So
Yeah.
Patricia had a good, it's called a recreational program,
Mm-hmm.
there, that they would teach and show you and give you stuff to do and take you out and do stuff. And I did water skiing and stuff. My first thing was actually water skiing,
Yeah.
and doing that. But I did that, and then the wheelchair racing went from racing here in Knoxville to racing in a midnight road racing in Pigeon Forge,
Oh my goodness.
which happened for a long time, for years. And I met people there from South Carolina that told me I needed to go to this Peachtree Road Race, which is on July 4th. I had to qualify for that. And went from that to doing that to going all over the nation, from Washington State to New York to California to Florida and everywhere in between. And
Wow.
then from there, trying out for the Paralympics several times, made it in 2007, went to the Paralympics in Brazil in 2007, competed in
What?
the 400 meter and the 800 meter race. Yeah. I
That's
came in,
incredible.
I came in fourth in the 400 meter race. I didn't medal, but I came in fourth in the final. I made it to the finals.
Wow.
I've been to Japan and raced marathon there. I was the first American out of 300. I came in 27th.
Wow.
Back then, that was back in the day. That's the 2010. I've done Boston Marathon. I've done a lot.
Yeah.
Rock climbing. I was second in the nation back then. We had a climbing thing. I was in
You've been
Atlanta.
rock climbing?
Yeah, yeah, rock climbing.
That has to be so hard on your upper body strength to do that.
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, when you're really just go all the time, and you're kind of
Yeah.
fit, it's hard, but it's good.
Wow.
I haven't done it in a couple of years. Shoulders give out every now and then,
Right.
so
Well, I
you got to
mean,
take
yeah,
care of
you stay
yourself.
pretty busy,
Yeah,
pretty active. So I have to ask because you do, more than most people who don't have an excuse. You do a lot. You stay very active.
yeah.
Um, so tell me a little bit about, I'm really curious on a couple things. So I'm going to try to have individual questions because I have so
You're
many
fine.
questions after you were talking. But how did your mom handle everything after your injury? I could only imagine if my kid was out in the driveway trying to get in his truck and falling, that would be so hard. So how was your
Yeah,
parents with helping you to grow, but yet giving you the space that you needed and all that? How did that work for your parents?
they were very instrumental in letting me do my own thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I know my mom was probably it was really hard for her, probably. But my dad was one of those, is like, if you need help, I'm here. I'm not going to do anything. He
Yeah.
actually took me out driving in the parking lot, learned how to drive at Home Depot, got my truck
Wow.
set up to where I could drive, and he
Yeah.
helped me do that. But
Wow.
as far as um, they were really, they allowed me to try to do it myself first,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yeah.
what you need.
Mm-hmm.
All glory and honor to God for letting them
Yeah.
do that, and me doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it was trying, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know the full story of everything that they went through. My dad has told
Yeah.
me several things
Wow.
about it, but dad said that while we were in the hospital at UT when it first happened, he kept seeing people go back and forth, doctors go back and forth, and all he could think of was, how are we going to afford this?
Mm.
Um, and he tells it all the time. He said that he got this peace over top of him, and God says, "I got you. I got this." And I don't know who, how, when, where, or how, but most of the stuff got taken care of
Wow.
by people, not just us. So God blessed us with that. So
Wow. That's
um,
incredible.
yeah, parents are very they relied on God, and that's
Yeah.
what we had to do.
Yeah.
So
Wow. So now I know your amazing wife. She's pretty awesome. She's really sweet.
yeah,
And you've got two great kids and
yeah,
you work full time. You've accomplished a lot on the sports side of things, but then you also
yeah,
have a regular full time job. And so
yeah.
I would love to know a little bit of that journey of what did move from like recovering from the accident, discovering who you were, and to kind of how and when did that journey start of what does the new normal look like for Matthew?
So before I got had an accident, I actually
Yeah.
did a lot of um, I worked manually. We did tires and automotive is what we were into. And as far as what I did, I went on, before I had an accident, I did service calls on trucks. I went and worked on, commercial vehicles doing tires and worked at the store doing tires. And it's just, it was a grind from, 7 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. So most of the
Yeah.
time, although we're only open 8 to 5. So, I did that for a little while. So until I got hurt, I got done. What's going to be next for me? What am I going to do? I can't go do what I just did.
Yeah.
I went to the office and, I answered, calls. And then since I could drive, I drove the truck around to go pick up, stuff. I drove the truck around to get in and out, go in the office, and I drove around there for a while. Until I got really tired of doing that. I didn't really want to do that the rest of my life type thing. Although I enjoyed driving,
Yeah.
um, I got to the office and I started doing more customer relations type things, and really because as I know a lot about the business, and
Yeah.
so it's more or less I just needed to integrate that. So I would sit back and I did our website. I did for the first. This was back in you know early 2000s.
Yeah.
Did that type of thing, and then I did. I integrated instead of doing handwritten tickets, I integrated a computer-based program for us and got that done.
That's
And
awesome.
then it basically just kind of domino effect from there to where um, my dad usually would get all the calls. Of course, it's my dad's business. But we have about, at the time, I think we had like 15 people working for us. Now we got about 25 or so. But it's more or less everybody called for my dad. And now me just doing, I didn't do it on purpose. It just happened.
Yeah.
I just really did more and just wanted to do more and help and do more until it turned into where we went from this really hole in the wall place where we were on Cherry Street, and my dad found this other place that went out of business, and there's another building there. We moved from there in 2000 and it's 2003, I think it was 2004, something like that, and we moved from there to this bigger operation to where we had to do more work, and I just went with it and stayed
Yeah.
there and do a lot of stuff. And now everybody doesn't call for my dad; they ask for me,
Yeah.
which is a headache in itself. But it's good. It's a blessing. I guess
It's a
it's a
good
blessing.
headache.
I mean, I can't say I can't
Yeah.
suck anything bad about it. So, it's I get there at 6:30 in the morning, and as soon as I get there, start working, and I'll leave sometimes 8, 9 o'clock at night. Um, so it's a blessing in itself, but um I just work, don't take lunch,
Yeah.
work, and we're off on the weekends, thank God. But I
Yeah.
still get those calls on my phone and stuff like that,
Yeah.
especially, and then you go to church and people ask you stuff at church, which I don't care. I really don't
Yeah.
care. It's fine. I
Yeah.
get it all the time. So
Yeah.
everywhere I go, my kids are like, everywhere I go, everybody knows you. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't help it. I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
that's my daily life. And so I it's a normal for me. I don't think anything of it. Get up and go. give work. I
Yeah.
mean, do what you can do. I mean,
Right.
be a light to somebody, and that's really one thing that I've grown to understand. You need to be a light to somebody, although you
Mhm.
don't know them and you don't know
Right.
what's going on in their head. Of course, we talked about
Yeah.
that, and I think in our Sunday school this morning, you don't know what's going on in somebody's head.
Yeah.
So you need to be that light for somebody. And that's what I try to do. I can probably count on one hand how many times I've actually got mad at people for asking me, stuff about me, what's wrong, what happened to me. And I get that a lot. I'll talk about that if you want to. Um, so,
Yeah.
most of the time I'll get at work and I'm out, people are like, what happened to your legs, or what happened to, why are you in a chair? And, there's so many different versions of how they ask me. And
Yeah.
it's not the fact that they say, hey, my name's Rick, and what's your name? And then
Right.
they say, how did you get injured in a chair? No, it's like they come up to me and say, what's wrong with your legs? I'm like,
Like
so,
total strangers will ask you that?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's wild. The
That
people
is
are
wild.
very bold, very, very bold. And I roll with it, quote unquote, get it,
Yeah.
roll with it. So,
Right.
I have fun with it most of the time. A lot of questions I get is like, how long have you been in a chair? And my favorite answer is, since about 5:30 this morning, I get out of them. So I have fun with it. But
Yeah.
then they don't get it at first. They're like, oh, I'm like, yeah, this is stupid fun. So, I get the question about what's wrong with your legs. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with my legs. They're still there.
Yeah.
I mean, but then I go into the story, and then I go to the story, this is what happened. At 18 years old, I had a dirt bike wreck. And like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, it's been like 20 some years ago. You ain't got to be
Right.
sorry. I'm fine. I said, God's
Yeah.
blessed me. I have no reason to be, mad about anything. But look at what God's done. I mean,
Yeah.
he's gave me a voice to use. He gave me a life to live. He's given me a family to enjoy. He's given me church to enjoy. I have nothing really to be mad about.
Yeah.
So what? I can't walk. I mean, I think it's my opinion, walking's overrated. If I would I take it back? No. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff. I've had a lot of fun. There's a lot of opportunities out there for me to do all this stuff,
Yeah.
and not so much that. There's a lot of opportunities just to be a light to somebody else,
Yeah.
because there's going to be somebody out there who needs it.
Oh, yeah.
So
And
I
you've,
just,
with your story, you've had an opportunity to help so many other people, who've either been in accidents or they know someone who has. And so God has just really used your story, in some amazing ways.
I don't really, I don't think about it. I really don't. And
Yeah.
when you really think about it, it's like, and when you stop and you think, you're like, wow, like, look what he's done.
Yeah.
Um, and I need to do more of that and just thank God for what he's done for me. I do, but I don't, type thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So for people who have someone, that's disabled in their life and either they don't know what to say or so they don't say anything. What is some practical ways people can show kindness and empathy without it sounding awkward or uncomfortable or making the other person feel uncomfortable? Like, what do people say that make you feel like, why would you say that?
like I said, just come up to you and ask you what happened.
Yeah.
Um, be genuine about it. Don't just be, um, obnoxiously wanting to be informed about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just nosy. Uh, and if you really want to know something about it, say, hey, look, I hate to say, hey, I'm just wanting to know, why are you this way? What has
Yeah.
happened to you? What has brought you to this situation? Don't just be like, why do you look that way?
Right.
No, don't do
Yeah.
that. I mean, just be genuine about it. Say, look,
Yeah.
I'm just being nosy. I just want to know, and if is there anything I can do to help?
Yeah.
And most of the time, in my situation, like, no, there's nothing to do to help. Really, just get out of my way. But no, I'm not mean. I really am not mean. I'm not. I
But
don't be.
you're a very independent person.
Yeah, I am, and
Yes.
it's getting. I Most of the time now, I'm getting a little bit older now. I'm like, somebody wants to open a door, go ahead, open the door. It's fine.
But when you were first in your wheelchair, you
Yeah.
really did you like when people opened the door for you or did
Mm-mm,
that kind of offend you?
yeah, I didn't like it.
You didn't
Didn't
like
like it
it.
at all.
Yeah.
I said, let me do it. I can do it. Let me do it.
Yeah.
Because I'd go down escalators, up escalators, and
Mm-hmm.
of course go
Then
down
an
steps and back.
escalator?
Yeah, that's another story. Yeah, they taught us that. They taught us that in therapy. Go down the escalator, get to go down
Wow.
backwards. Yeah, that is a very trustworthy thing.
Uh-huh.
You have to get to time yourself, get your back wheels on that step, and then to grab the rail and hold on the whole time.
That's so scary.
Oh yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
Going up is easy. Going down backwards is a little
Yeah,
trying.
that's scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is fun. It's fun. People are like,
Have
"Oh
you
my
done it
gosh!"
before? Like
Oh
actively
yeah,
out in public?
oh yeah, all the time. Yeah. If
Oh
there's an
man, that
escalator,
would
I'm doing it. It's just fun. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
goodness. I bet it's
But
probably more fun for you watching everyone else's reaction
it is.
to
It
you
is. It really
doing
is.
it.
It is. I play her. I joke around a lot.
Yeah.
I have fun because I have fun with it. I mean,
Right.
use a tool to your advantage,
Yeah.
and look what you can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, the people that you meet. I mean, of course, there's several people that I've met and more people that I've helped out that just asked me to go talk to people, and I love talking to people. There's several people in churches asked me to go talk to other people that's had problems and had this
Yeah.
happen and that happen to them, and I just hope that whatever I can give to help them out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I, I don't focus on what I'm saying. I'm just saying, hey, this is me. This is how you
Yeah.
can react. Keep God on your side
Mm-hmm.
and just go with it. I mean,
Yeah.
he's the main person that can keep you in
Mm-hmm.
where you need to be. You
Yeah.
just got to rely on him and have faith in him. And that's really what it is. It's all about
Mm-hmm.
faith.
Yeah.
So,
Man, Matthew, I love hearing your story, and I've heard it before, but it's been a couple of years since I've heard it.
yeah.
Some of the details I forgot. Um, but you have accomplished so much. But even more than that, you've kept your faith and you've stayed so positive about everything.
Mhm.
For someone who might be walking through a journey right now and they're thinking, man, physically my life looks different than I thought it would. And they're having a really hard time staying positive. And they're waking up and they're thinking like, and this is not what I thought I signed up for. This is not the life I thought I wanted. What would you say to encourage them right now?
Main thing is you can't go back. You can't go back and change it.
Yeah.
So why focus on it?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no sense in focusing on something that happened to you in the past. That's not. How's that going to help?
Yeah.
Really, how's it going to help? You got to look forward. You got to look forward. You focus on your steps forward. You got to look and see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Always trust in God. Always put your faith in God. Always trust and pray and give Him your burden. Honestly, give it to Him. People are going to let you down.
Yeah.
Things are going to let you down. Life in general is going to let you down, but God won't. He's always going to be by your side, whether you realize it or not. Open your
Yeah.
eyes, look and see what's out there for you, and try to be the person for somebody else,
Yeah.
not for yourself. You're not going to lift yourself up by yourself. So you're going to have people around you, and faith, family, and friends is what you need.
Yeah.
You can't do it by yourself. So
Yeah, that's really good. If we have some people listening who maybe they have someone in their life who's walking through something and they want to help and they want to open the door and they want to go do all the things for them and they want to help them in and out of the truck, and they don't know how to be there. They don't know what to say. And sometimes when we don't know what to say, either we avoid and we don't say anything and we just avoid people altogether, which is not the right answer either. Or we put our foot in our mouth and we say the wrong thing. And so if someone has someone in their life that's recently gone through something physical, now they're walking through this path of being disabled, what would you say to that person?
just be a friend. Don't overshadow them. Don't overpower them. Be a friend, and don't try to do it for them unless they really need it.
Yeah.
And don't leave them. There's friends for a season that want to help.
Yeah.
And they can't in their mind. Don't leave. That's the worst thing you can do. If you want to help, stick around. Just be a friend. And And I've done that recently with people at church, and
Yeah.
just listen.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Listening helps
Yeah.
a lot, and actually being genuine about it.
Yeah. And that's so good, because I feel like so many people, like you mentioned earlier, their version of helping is trying to either fix it or tell you about a surgery or tell you about a doctor they heard about.
Don't say, "Oh, I've done this. I was in a wheelchair for 6 months." Boo hoo. Okay, you're out now. Okay, I get that a lot. Oh, I know what you feel like. I've been there. I've done that. No, you haven't.
Right.
That's the thing. Don't give them a excuse that you've been there before, because you haven't.
Right.
So don't do that.
Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah, that's good. Matthew, thank you for sharing your story and just how encouraging your story is from the beginning to where you are now. And for someone who just meets you now for the first time, no one will probably ever realize all that you've come through and all that you've done. And you've done a lot, and you live a beautiful life. Now you have a great family, you've got a great wife, and you've got I know your sister, but I thought it was really funny when you said my older sister. Like, you definitely made sure to point that out.
Oh, she likes to say that people think that I'm older than her, and I was like, I tell her I'm more mature than you are.
There you go.
No,
There you go.
we
I
have
love
a joke
that.
about it. It's not. She is.
She's great, but you've got a great family.
Yes,
and
I do.
So thank you for just sharing your story.
Yes,
and sharing it so openly and honestly. And in this series of faith in our community, I feel like that's a common theme of when people live a life or live in a chapter of their life that's so different from our chapter. Sometimes we don't know how to handle it. And I think that common theme with every single guest in this series has been just be genuine. Be empathetic, genuine. And sometimes the questions that we ask come from a place of, I just wanted to know. I was just curious.
Yep.
But if we came at it from a place of, like, I want to be your friend,
yep,
it comes off differently. It reads differently, and it's just so much more genuine.
Yep.
And it's exactly what Jesus told his disciples to do. Was to be a friend. And so I think that rings true. And no matter what someone's walking through, if it's different than what I'm walking through, I can still be a friend to them. I don't need to have walked where they walked to be a friend to them.
And one thing is just treat them like somebody.
Yeah.
And it's really the way I get people that treat me like they don't see me in a chair. They just talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just something that helps me get around.
That's awesome. If you wouldn't mind, just close us out in a word of prayer today, and let's pray for those who are walking in it, those who have someone in their life that God would kind of use the story to inspire them and give them what they need. Yeah.
Dear Lord Jesus, Lord, we thank you for this day as you have given us this day, and thank you for the life that you've given us, Lord. I thank you for this time that we've had today just to basically lift your name up, and thank you for what you've done for us and what you're going to do for us, Lord. I pray for those that are out there that need to see this and hear this, and just to help them along with their journey in life, Lord. I pray that you'll be with them, or if there's anything that we can do for them, Lord, just have them come to us and just ask. And Lord, I pray that they'll come to you first, Lord, and just ask you for your help. Lord, just help us to be a tool for you to lift your name up and just be that guiding spirit, Lord. And Lord, I thank you for the church that you've given us. Lord, I thank you for the immense of friends and family around us that we have, that we need. And Lord, I thank you for everything. Lord, I pray that you'll just be with us throughout the rest of this day. Lord, I pray that you'll be with us throughout the rest of this year. Lord, I pray that you'll be with our country, Lord, as we go into this troublesome times that we're having. Lord, I pray that you'll be with us in everything we do. And thank you for everything you've done and everything you're going to do for us. For in your name I do pray. Amen.